This AI agent is going to change your life. Staying healthy is hard and takes a lot of hard work, and we can all use an AI companion in that journey. But until today, that technology has been unavailable. So if you stick around, we're going to show you how you can reclaim your health using this AI agent. Let's jump into this workflow and just show you how it works. So the best way to show you how a workflow works is just to demo it. So let me grab the Telegram trigger, which is going to start this whole workflow. So this is a Telegram triggered workflow. So essentially all you need to do is every time that you put something in your body, you just need to take a picture of it. So this is something I had for dinner recently. You can see this is fish tacos, rice, plantains, and we are going to send that over to what I call MapBot, but this is just an AI agent health bot. And what it's going to do is it's going to return to us all of the food which is in this picture, and you can see it start to come in. And so you can see it gives you fried fish fillets, corn tortillas, pickled onions and salsa, black beans, yellow rice, fried plantains, and it even got the polar seltzer there. And that is truly everything that is in this image. And so how are we doing this? Well, we are using AI vision, or we're using a large language model that can handle vision capabilities. And so that's not the only reason this is cool. So it's like, all right, that's great. It's good to know what I ate and approximately how many calories are in it. But what makes this all the more powerful is that it logs it for you in a Google Sheet. So you don't have to spend the time tracking what you eat. You just literally take a picture of the thing and that's it. That's it. So let's hop into the Google Sheet and you can see, and again, I use it to track my own food because I think it's just so awesome and effective. And you can see here some of the food, right, I've been tracking. And this is right here. This is our last entry. And so it just puts in all the information we need. You can track by day, by week, by month, your calorie intake, and you can really know what's going into your body. You can also track the garbage you're putting into your body as well. And again, changing eating habits isn't easy, but it's much easier when you are tracking what is going into your body. But most people don't have time to do this. So this workflow changes that. This AI agent is able to automate this process for you. And it really is just thanks to the power of AI and large language models that this is able to happen. So what is going on under the hood here? Now this is it looks like a simple workflow, and it isn't too complex actually. The most complicated part of this is this node right here. But after setting up the Telegram trigger, what it does is it takes the image that comes through. So it triggers on a message. And then it takes the image that comes through and passes that to an HTTP request. And so this request is going to upload the image that gets sent from the Telegram trigger, and it's going to pass it into image BB, IMG which is just a place where we can hold the image temporarily. And then once we take that image, and again, we're holding it temporarily, we will pass it into the OpenAI API. So we're using this endpoint. This is the responses API. And we're using GPT 4.1 mini. And this is a model that can handle images as well as text. And you can see here's how we're prompting it. And this is the input image, which we're getting from IMGBB, or what I'll call Image Baby. I don't know if that's the actual name, but we're getting that from Image Baby. And then the output from that, we are passing into another OpenAI model. So this is a dual LLM agentic model. So there's two agents here. One is the visual agent, and the other is going to be taking the text, which, the visual agent is looking at, and it's going to be sorting all that information out for us into neat little packets of information so that it looks something like this, with each food, serving size, calories, and then even the meal, depending on the time of day. So I'm shooting this right in the evening, so it marks it as a dinner meal as well, which is really helpful. And so you can see this is the user prompt for that. And this is the system prompt. So it's only supposed to return, calories of certain food preceded by the number. And then it runs it through a code node. So there is a little bit of code here, but the information gets sent through, so it can come out on the other side and be all neat for us. And so it looks, like this with, food and the servings and the serving size and such. And then it passes it into the Google Sheets, where it automatically maps it to our columns. And then finally it passes it back to Telegram, where it can get set up and will get sent back to us as a bunch of separate messages. So in order to set this workflow up, there are, a number of things that we're going to have to do. The first is, and I'm making this note here just so we can mark these off. So our to-do is we have to set up Telegram, and then we have to set up OpenAI, and then we have to set up Google Sheets. And that's it. And once you do those things, you will be good to go with this workflow, and you can run it on your own machine. Wherever you are. And you'll have control over this too, which is nice. And so you also need to set up n8n. Last I checked, they had a 2-week free trial that you can set up, and that'll get you 2 weeks for free. Then it's $25 a month on their cloud instance, or you can check out the other video on my channel where you can learn how to set it up for a fraction of that cost. And, it'll cost you maybe $6 or $8 a month. And then you have total access to the n8n platform, and you can run this workflow and others in the cloud, right? So not just like at any time, no matter where you are in the world, you can run these things, which is amazing. For $6 to $8, you'll be set up. That's a little more complicated. It's outside the scope of this workflow. So just look on my channel for that self-hosting with n8n. But let's just run through this. If you're new to n8n, if you're new to all this software, you will start by just going to n8n.io. We'll just assume you're going to get set up in the, the cloud instance. So you just click get started, just click through. That'll take you to something that looks, roughly like this. All right, you'll come in here, you'll create your first project. And then once you create your first project, you will come in here and you will drop in, or you will import a file. And the file that you're going to import is going to be from my Skool community, the ACS AI Academy. You can see we have a growing community here. It's very cool. There's collaboration going on. We're helping each other. We're learning, we're growing. But you'll just come into the classroom section here once we let you in. And you will grab, let's just use this as an example since we haven't uploaded this current video. You'll come in and you'll grab this JSON blueprint, you will download it, and then you will head back into n8n, into that new workflow you created. You'll import from file, and you'll just drop this in, the LinkedIn automation, and that'll pop up. And this is for another automation, which you are welcome to have access to. And I made a video on my channel as well. But that is the process to get that set up. but we'll assume that you uploaded the JSON workflow successfully. It'll be posted in this Skool community after this video is complete. And so you'll be following along with me step by step as we walk you through how to get this up and running on your machine. So we're going to hop back into the other workflow and in our AI agent health app. We've done the n8n piece. Now it's time to do the Telegram piece. So you will go into Telegram. You'll have to go to telegram.com or telegram.org. And then you'll have to create an account. And once you create an account and you download Telegram for iOS or Windows or whatever you're on, you'll have the Telegram app on your computer. So in your Telegram app, you will come in here and you're going to look up botfather. And so in order to create a new bot, you are going to type this command into the message bar on botfather. So you're going to create a new bot. You have to choose a name for your bot. You can just call it Dr. Bot. And then you have to come up with a unique name. This is like the username for the bot. So we're just going to come up with a random one so that it doesn't get taken away. And it has to end in bot. So just be aware of that as well. Great. So the bot is created. You will have your API token. This is what we're going to come and bring into n8n. So you want to save that token. Don't show anyone the token. It's a password. I'm going to delete this bot after this video so that you cannot access my bot. But we're going to take that token and bring it into n8n. And I'll show you where we're going to go in n8n with it in order to set up the bot correctly for Telegram. So come back over to n8n. You're going to click on this Telegram trigger. Again, all this stuff is going to be on your workflow already. And then you're just going to come in here and update the credential or add a new credential. And all you have to do is drop in that access token. That's it. And give it a name. So it's called Dr. Bot, we said, and then a bunch of random numbers. Great. And now, every time that you message that bot, then the bot will be there for you. So all you need to do is get the bot started. So you can just click on this link. And this is Dr. Bot. You just click the start button. And now watch. We should get a response. Like if I paste a picture, let's grab this picture and paste this into here. You will get a response back the same way as when we sent it here, because this bot is now configured as the trigger for our workflow. So here we're going to next step is Telegram is all set up. Now we're going to set up OpenAI. So you will need to spend just a couple bucks on API credits. If you've never set up the OpenAI API, I have a whole video dedicated to it on my channel, but I'll do it again here for you just in case you are new to it and you haven't seen the video. But you're going to go to platform.openai.com. And once that loads, you're just going to click sign in or sign up or whatever you need to press. You can do Google, however you want to sign in. Just get to this page here, and then you can come over to the search bar, or you can come down to billing, wherever that is. I always just use the search bar. And then once you get to billing, you're gonna have to pop in a couple bucks. Again, I do this as my job, and I think I have uploaded $15 in credits. You just don't use that many credits, you know, unless you're doing heavy image or video generation, or you're doing, you know, you're dealing with like massive data sets. I just don't use that many credits. So you put in $5, it'll probably be there for the next year or 2 years or 10 years, depending on how often you actually use the thing. And so you can set up enable auto recharge as well. That's fine. But once you put that money in, then you'll be good to go back to the docs here. And we're going to search again for API keys. View and manage your API keys. You can see I have a bunch here. You're just going to create a new key and just call it n8n AI Dr. Agent. Select the project, create the secret key, and then again, keep that secret key safe somewhere. And we're going to head back into n8n, and we are going to, in this node probably is easiest, just come into this node and we're going to create a new OpenAI account. So just come in, create a new credential, do is drop in your API key and press save, and that'll be set up for you. I'm not going to do it because I've already set mine up, but then you will be good to make API calls. I suppose the one other thing I forgot about ImageBaby here, you have to set up ImageBaby as well. Again, this is pretty straightforward. All ImageBaby does is it just takes a file and an image file, and it just stores it on the cloud for you for as long as you need, 5 minutes, a year. So you can just go to imagebb.com and just create an account. And then you'll have to come into your settings here and go to settings. And I believe it's under the about. You click on API, and then, yeah, this is your API key. So you can add an API key or just take this API key and you'll just copy it and then bring it back to n8n. This one is a little bit, it's slightly trickier to set up. You're going to click on generic credential type, make sure that's selected. Again, all this is going to be in there for you, or a lot of this will be in here for you. This piece will, the authentication won't be, because n8n automatically takes that out when you upload a new workflow. And then the type of credential you need to pick, or the generic auth type, is query auth. And then under query auth, you need to add a new credential. And so the value will be, let's just head back to ImageBB just to double check. I believe the value is Q. It's key. There you go. The key is going to be key, and the value is going to be your API key. So we have that API key on our clipboard. This name just goes in as key. The value, you just set it as an expression for the time being. Just paste it. That'll be your value. And then all you need to do is save it. And then you can make requests to ImageBB for free. It's all set up for you. So that is ImageBaby. And then the final thing you need to set up is Google Sheets. And in order to get Google Sheets working, you need to go to the Google Cloud Console. So just type that into Google. And once you get in here, you'll sign up or create an account to get to this page. And then you can make a project, just create a new project. I'd just make it your name, general credentials. That's perfectly fine. And then you're going to come here and you're going to go over to the API and services section. And we're going to click on credentials. And once we come into the credentials section, we are going to actually go here to the OAuth consent screen. And you will need to create a client. So you're going to start by creating a client. The application type is going to be web application. The client name could be whatever you want. We'll leave it as web client 5. The authorized redirect URI, this needs to come from n8n. So n8n's, I can't remember off the top of my head what it is. And I don't think the Google Sheets node actually tells us. So we're just coming in here. This is where we would create the credential for the Google Sheets. Yeah, it doesn't tell us. So we can just open another node. Again, we're assuming this is your first time ever using n8n. If not, this will all be set up. You can skip this step. But we're assuming this is your first time. So we're going to come in and just open up the Drive node. And any one of these will work. And we're just going to come in here and we're going to create a new credential. Just like so. And this is the redirect URI or URL, same thing. We're gonna go back to that Google Cloud Console. We're gonna drop that in, redirect URI, paste. And then we're going to create that. I'm not going to create it because I've already created the ones that I need, but you're going to create that. And once you create that, you are going to go to audience. You're going to click a little button here that says, send to production or something. Here, mine says in production. Yours will say in testing. Make sure you click that button. That'll save you headaches down the road. Come into your branding. All that should be set. And then you're just going to come back. The client you created, you'll come in. We'll just choose this. And you're going to grab your client ID and your client secret. And you're going to go back to n8n, drop those into the drive node. And I'll actually do that just so we can click through and you can see. So client ID, copy pastes. Client secret. And then you're going to sign in with Google. And then you'll click through all of these screens. If it says it hasn't verified the app, that's okay. And you'll just continue and you should get a successful connection. Now you're back in the Google Cloud Console. You're going to go to Sheets. You're going to type that into the search bar here. You're going to look for Google Sheets API. This is going to enable the API for us. And once it pops up, you're just going to click, try this API or enable this API. Once you do that, you will be all set to go back to n8n and run this workflow. You're going to delete the drive node if that came through. And you'll just have to click into each of these to make sure that you have, I'm not going to use the doctor bot, but you just need to make sure that everything you set up is correct in each workflow. So in Image Baby, we got to make sure this credential is all set up, which we've done. In our OpenAI, we have to make sure our OpenAI credential is set here. So the credential type and OpenAI account. And then you just come down here. You can use this exact same text. Nothing needs to change, though you can change it if you'd like. And then your first time through, you need to activate this. This is going to create the sheet for you, which is going to then be populated every time you run this. So just give it a title. Again, you have the Google Sheets and Google Drive created, so that should all work out very seamlessly. And then in the OpenAI node, we've created this, but just make sure the credential is selected correctly. These settings are all done for you. The code node, you don't even have to touch. Click on Google Sheets and you'll hop in here. Just make sure this is selected. And this, you'll have to, after you run this workflow once, it's going to give you an error when you get here. Just take this URL that comes out of this document, or once this document is created, and all you need to do is paste it right in here. So the first time through, it's going to run and create the document. Then you're going to press deactivate and paste this URL here. And every time after that it runs, it's going to run successfully for you. And then finally in Telegram, just make sure you switch out this with the name of your bot. All the stuff will get sent the same. You don't have to change anything. And that is the flow right there. So 25 minutes of focus and following, and you've got yourself an AI health agent, a personal coach and trainer who's there to watch what you eat, provided that you are willing to take the photos to put that time in and take care of your health that way. And it will cost you about $6 and some change a month to run, which is going to be cheaper than any other service that's offered by anyone else, because this is going to be in your hands and totally in your control. And once you learn how to take care of this stuff, you can tweak these prompts to whatever you want. You want to track your vitamins, you want to track anything else, all the information that's stored in a large language model, which is, it is trained on all the information in the internet, is at your fingertips. It's just up to you to be creative with your prompting and your structuring of these workflows. And you can do it. And I'm here for you. Just drop any comments that you have in the comments below. Join that Skool community right here and journey with me and everyone else in the community as we learn these tools and put them to work for us and for others to really show how this technology, large language models and artificial intelligence, is a force for good, and it is not a force for ill or for bad. And that is one of my goals as a technologist and software developer, is putting this work in and putting this technology to work for the good of people. That is all, and we will see you in the next one.